Notion just added the most powerful AI. On top, new custom agent insights, merging cells, and an improved version history. So in this video, I'm going to show you everything. For those who don't know me, my name is Leon and I've spent over 5,000 hours in Notion. The first thing that Notion did is they added the new model from Claude Fable 5 to Notion. But it's not available everywhere and especially not by default. It's available if you enable it in the personal agent, but not in the custom agents yet. So here you can see in the personal agent, you have all the different models. And if you haven't activated it, Fable 5 is grayed out. And what you need to do is you need to go in the settings to Notion AI. And down here, you can see Fable 5, and here you need to toggle it on. Because here it says your workspace admin may enable the below optional LLM, which may retain your data. This is what I just told you. So in order to use it, you need to activate it. Now in the normal Claude app, so if you have Claude, you will see it there. Fable 5 is available in your subscription in Claude until June 22nd. After that, Fable 5 is only available through the API, so you need to pay by credits in the Claude app. They say if it is possible, over time they will put it back into the subscription, but after 22nd of June, as of now, it will be then paid by credits. And I think the same thing will then happen in Notion. After June 22nd, this model will also come to custom agents, and then you have to pay by credits. Now in the personal agent, it doesn't matter. You can use it like all the time if you want. Now I have to say from a test that I did where I asked to create 3 databases with properties and relate them, Opus 4.8 and Fable 5 did almost the same job. I think like Fable 5 added one more property, rest the same, but Opus was faster than Fable 5. And this is also what other people said. They say that Fable 5 for easier tasks, there is not much of a difference, and Fable 5 takes longer. So if you use it later than in custom agents, I would only use it for like the most complex tasks that you have that maybe even Opus can't figure out. I would only use it for them because the new Fable model is 2 times more expensive than Opus. So I wouldn't use it for example, I have a custom agent that creates my YouTube description. I wouldn't use like Fable for this job. And as I said, I think that in the personal agent and for smaller tasks between Fable and Opus, there is not that much of a difference. I heard, and maybe you also heard of the example that Stripe had, where they had a very big task, which if they had to do it manually with a full team would take them 2 months. And with Fable, it was like 1 day. I think the difference is when you have a very complex, long task. And I think now that Notion workers are available in beta, there might be a difference in creating workers, for example, with Claude Code, when you then use Fable 5 instead of Opus. We will see. I built a test worker as of now, but I want to dig deeper in this and build more workers and test it before I do a designated video on this channel. But yeah, I think that there in Claude Code, maybe for worker creation, there is a difference between Opus and Fable. So if you have a particular use case where you need it, now it's available in the personal agent. But tell me what you think about this new model and this new model in Notion down in the comments. The second thing is this new insight option for custom agents. Now let's open this for my content description and text agent, and you see nothing. This is because of my building period that started yesterday and I haven't used it. So let's activate last 30 days, and you have first all charts and then also another chart option here. So what you can see is the total credits in the last 30 days. You can see the number of runs in the last 30 days. You can say the completion rate. Now here it's 100%. There are 0 failures, which is perfect. Then we have active users. Now I am the only person in my workspace. That's why there's only 1 active user. And then you can see the different runs. You can see the status. You can see created, last updated. You can see what the trigger is. In this case, it was a Notion page that got updated. The type, which is triggered, the credits for every run, then the different runs, the user, the model that was used, and then the tools used. You can see here, if I hover over it, for this, it's Query SQL and Notion update page. And last but not least, error, but because we have a 100% completion rate, there is no error. And here we can download. Here, as you can see, the recent 300 chats in the selected period. Now here we have 30 days. You can go 7 days, 30 days, or billing period. Then we can sort by these different criteria if we want to. We can filter by, for example, failed chats. So if we have a lot more, we can only show the failed, but this is like normal database filtering. And then we have the charts, and here again we have the same bar at the top, but now we have the charts. We can see in every week I have 1 triggered action. That's because I do 1 video a week, and I also trigger this for that video once a week. Then we have active users, which is only me. We have the credits over time. Now it's a bit more because I added a bit more to the agent in terms of context and description. Then we have average credits per chat. That's also got more, and we have a perfect chart because it all went successful. Now, in terms of these custom agents, I saw it's also possible to get custom agents via the marketplace. So I could publish a custom agent to the marketplace and you could download them. Let me know in the comments down below if this is something you would like to see. Then, for example, for a video, I could create a custom agent and then I could publish it to the Notion marketplace and you could download it to your workspace. Now, the third update is that you can merge cells in a normal table. Now, for here, let me open this toggle and just imagine that there is content in this table. Now, what I could do is, let's say I want to put a heading for the table here, and for this I want 1 big cell. Then I could just highlight it like this, and then here click on it, and then I can see merge cells. And if I click on this, I get a big cell. I could also do something now like color it in gray, and now I have a big cell here. I could also highlight these two, so it's not only horizontally but also vertically. So I can here say merge cells, and now I have 1 big cell here. Now, if you like these breakdowns of new Notion updates, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like on this video. The last update is something that really excites me, because I can tell you I used the version history in Notion a bunch of times, and sometimes it wasn't clear on what did I add there and what got removed. Now, when you, for example, restructure a text with your personal agent, you will exactly see what got deleted and what got added, so you can see every change. And now this is what happens in the version history. So let's open the version history for this page, and you can see here, from here to here, I deleted this section, I deleted this text, I deleted these texts, I deleted these toggles and these dividers, and I added this toggle, this table, this toggle here, this block. So the version history is way better now. And now that's it. You have the strongest AI model available in Notion. But if you don't know how to leverage it, it doesn't matter. So if you want to know the best way to build things in Notion, watch this video over here, stay consistent.